What does arresting 9,000 officers do to Turkey's military readiness? More than 9,000 military officers are in detention already, and the number keeps climbing. The question is, when does this NATO ally hollow out its armed forces to the point of failure? The simple answer: no time soon. But that belies the details of precisely who has been arrested. Failed coup in Turkey. What you need to know: Turkey has a conscript army and is estimated to have over 500,000 people in its armed forces. The current detentions, you might assume, barely scratch the surface of a force with such a deep bench strength. Read more. But the reality is, among those thousands detained are over 100 top generals and admirals. That's 1/3 of the military's command, which has NATO allies worried. Many of their longtime military partners are gone, raising concerns around who they deal with and whom can they trust. The future and stability of key air baseAn F-15 fighter jet glides in for a landing in front of Adana's main mosque March 7, 2003 at Incirlik Air Force Base in Turkey. At the Turkey's Incirlik Air Base, which is shared with several thousand United States forces, the worries run deeper. The Turkish commander, Bekir Ercan, and many of his officers at the base were arrested days after the failed coup. Not only does the U.S. use Incirlik for air operations targeting ISIS just over the border in neighboring Syria, but it stores scores of nuclear weapons in bunkers there. Miscommunication and misunderstanding in this environment would be deeply troubling, not to mention the lives of U.S. and NATO lives, which could potentially be put in danger. Incirlik is a base for drones and fast jets that not only strike ISIS but provide watch and on-call firepower for U.S. Special Forces assisting moderate rebels on the ground inside Syria. Deny the protection of such air cover, and the risk of causalities rises rapidly, meaning Turkey quickly appears to be an unreliable partner. In the hours after the coup began, Turkey halted U.S. anti-ISIS air operations by closing the airspace around the base, and although that was lifted soon after Incirlik's Turkish commander was arrested, power supplies to the base remained cut as the coup was severed. Rumors in Turkish media swirled of the U.S. hand in the coup. In Ankara, U.S. Ambassador John Bass penned a powerful repost, calling rumors categorically untrue and harmful. When I asked Deputy Prime Minister Mehmet Şimşek about how the decimated military hierarchy would function with their NATO allies, he told me, the coup attempt will give strength to Turkey and NATO. When pushed about what he meant, he explained, NATO member states are all democracies like Turkey, that the coup was an attack on democracy and this should bring us all closer together. Nevertheless, NATO sees generals it trusted in the dock. General Akin Ozturk, a highly decorated four-star general who commanded the NATO forces in Afghanistan, has been accused of leading the coup plotters. Though he denies the accusation, what is even more worrying for Ozturk's friends at NATO and his family are the photos which were taken of him in the hours after his detention, in which he appears to have been beaten. Ozturk had bandaged ears, bad rope burns and bruising high on his arms, raising suspicions he had been strung up by his arms bound behind him. detained soldiers in harsh conditions when Ozturk appeared in court the following day. His injuries and those of some of the other officers on trial with him seemed worse. The picture of detained soldiers hinted at the harsh conditions they are being held in, while CNN verified an image of dozens of men with their hands bound behind their backs, naked, apart from their underwear, on their knees amid the sawdust of a horse stable. Photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. Police try to stop people from attacking the judge suspected in the failed coup plot in Erzurum, Turkey on Tuesday, July 19. Turkey has fired or suspended about 50,000 people as the government intensifies a crackdown following last weekend's failed coup attempt. Teachers, journalists, police and judges have been affected. Hide caption 1 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. Police escort Turkish soldiers, accused of taking part in the attempted coup, as they leave the courthouse in Istanbul's Bekir neighborhood on Saturday, July 16. Hide caption 2 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. Turkish police officers cover the eyes of soldiers as they are transported in a bus from the courthouse in Istanbul on July 16. Hide caption 3 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. Akin Ozturk, front row, center, a 4-star general and former commander of the Turkish Air Force, is among those in police custody whom President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's government has accused of having led the failed coup attempt. Hide caption 4 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. In a mass detention in Ankara, dozens of detainees are forced to kneel, partially stripped. Hide caption 5 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. A man waves the Turkish flag from a car roof during a July 16 march around Incirlik Square in Ankara after the attempted military coup. Hide caption 6 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. Damaged vehicles are abundant outside the presidential palace in Ankara on July 16. Hide caption 7 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. People kick and beat the Turkish soldiers suspected in the attempted coup on Istanbul's Bosphorus Bridge on July 16. Hide caption 8 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. Women react after people took over a military position on the Bosphorus Bridge in Istanbul. Hide caption 9 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. People gather outside the Turkish parliament in Ankara during an extraordinary session after the failed coup attempt. Hide caption 10 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. Turkey Prime Minister Binali Yildirim addresses the Turkish parliament after the failed coup attempt. Hide caption 11 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. A protester rests on a bench as smoke billows from the Turkish military headquarters in Ankara. Hide caption 12 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. People stand under a huge Turkish flag during a march around Incirlik Square in Ankara in reaction to the attempted coup. Hide caption 13 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. Members of the Turkish military surrender on Istanbul's Bosphorus Bridge on after a failed coup attempt. Hide caption 14 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. People protesting against the coup wave the Turkish flag on top of a monument in Istanbul's Taksim Square. Hide caption 15 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. Clothes and weapons belonging to soldiers involved in the coup attempt are scattered on Bosphorus Bridge in Istanbul. Hide caption 16 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. A Turkish police officer in Istanbul embraces a man on a tank in the wake of the violence overnight. Hide caption 17 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. Smoke billows from the direction of the presidential palace in Ankara on July 16. Hide caption 18 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. People gather on top of a Turkish military tank in Ankara in the morning after the coup attempt. National intelligence officials said the coup was put down and that the government remains in control. Hide caption 19 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. Turkish people wave national flags from a car in Istanbul. Hide caption 20 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. People gathered around a car damaged by a tank in Incirlik Square early on July 16. Hide caption 21 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. People take to the streets near the Fatih Sultan Mehmed Bridge during clashes with military forces in Istanbul. Hide caption 22 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. People escape the clashes in Ankara early Saturday. Hide caption 23 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. Tanks move into position as Turkish citizens attempt to stop them in Ankara. Hide caption 24 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. Citizens in Shivias rush to the streets during the chaotic coup attempt. Hide caption 25 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. A man approaches Turkish military with his hands up at the entrance to the partially closed Bosphorus Bridge in Istanbul. Hide caption 26 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. A wounded man is given medical care at the entrance to the Bosphorus Bridge in Istanbul after clashes with Turkish military. Hide caption 27 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. People react in front of the Justice and Development Party's headquarters in Ankara. Hide caption 28 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. Soldiers secured an area as supporters of Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan protest in Istanbul's Taksim Square. Hide caption 29 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. Turkish military members make their way through the streets of Istanbul. Hide caption 30 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. Supporters of President Recep Tayyip Erdogan protest in front of soldiers in Istanbul's Taksim Square. Hide caption 31 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan speaks on CNN Turk via a FaceTime call in Istanbul after members of the country's military attempted to overthrow the government. Hide caption 32 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. Turkish soldiers block Istanbul's iconic Bosphorus Bridge. Hide caption 33 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. Turkish security officers detain police officers, seen in black, in Istanbul, during a security shutdown on the Bosphorus Bridge. Hide caption 34 of 39 photos. failed military coup in Turkey. A military airplane is seen flying over Turkey. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan urged people to take to the streets and stand up to the military. Hide Caption 35 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. People take cover near the Bosphorus Bridge as military airplanes fly overhead. Hide Caption 36 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. Turkish soldiers are seen on the Asian side of Istanbul. Hide Caption 37 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. A Turkish security officer stands guard on the side of the road. Hide Caption 38 of 39 photos. Failed military coup in Turkey. Turkish soldiers block Istanbul's Bosphorus Bridge. Hide Caption 39 of 39. The Deputy Prime Minister brushed aside concerns of mistreatment when I asked him about Ozturk's bruising. He said Ozturk and other officers had been resisting arrest, had put up a fight, had heavy weapons, and standoffs lasted several hours. When asked about the soldiers in the stables, he said, "This is normal procedures for police under these circumstances." The soldiers' crimes were very heavy, he added, so they are not under a normal investigation. None of this will sit easily with NATO allies who expect international obligations to prisoners to be observed. Prisoners held naked, hands bound, breaks international human rights conventions and can be considered torture. Crack in military raises concerns at NATO HQ. Turkish soldiers stay with weapons at Taksim Square as people protest against the military coup in Istanbul. In some regards, Turkey is a leading member of NATO. Among the alliance, it has the second largest military behind the US. However, it stands alone in that it already causes concerns at NATO headquarters in Brussels. Only last year the Turkish Air Force shot down a Russian fighter jet close to the border with Syria. Publicly, NATO stood behind its southernmost members, but privately some officials expressed surprise at Turkey's action. Most in the alliance believe in similar circumstances they would have held their nerve and not been so apparently trigger-happy. Russia is in the ascendancy, stretching its military muscle all along the alliance's eastern border, from Kaliningrad in the north, to Syria in the south. And although Ankara recently patched up relations with Moscow, the very fact its forces lack the steadying influence of a full deck of commanders will worry military planners at NATO HQ. Turkey sits astride potentially NATO's biggest fault line with Russia, the Bosphorus, a narrow channel of water and the gateway for Russia's Black Sea Fleet to the Mediterranean and the world's oceans beyond. Just 2 years ago Russia broke international law crossing borders to annex Crimea, home to Black Sea Fleet, and has incurred heavy international sanctions since. Such is the fleet's importance to Russia, it was willing to risk the repercussions. From Crimea, Russian submarines can probe NATO's coastlines, and its ships keep Russian forces in Syria resupplied. Nowhere else do Russian ships sail so close to NATO's shores. The margin for error is minimal. Any miscalculation, or twitchy trigger finger under instruction from a less seasoned commander could plunge NATO and Russia into an ugly standoff. Bosphorus is the one places NATO needs not to have cracks in any of the alliance's military command. From Washington to Brussels and beyond, capitals are counting on continuity not chaos in Turkey's changing military lineup. Anything less puts the world in a more precarious place.